then I don't know. Somebody else said burritos. Who said burritos?
I said Chipotle.
See, that's a burrito, right?
I don't. Are we on the air?
Yeah, we are. That's the main thing that.
I was doing the tweet, and you're like, "We're actually starting."
You said go live before, so I did it. It takes a little while for the gimmick to spin up, and then here we are, talking about burrito farts on the air. I may snot all over everybody today. I'm a little bit sweaty, so sorry about that. I got another cold, I think.
You still look beautiful to me, baby.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, sweeties.
Hey, you know what? I never followed up on my wanting to know the pet words.
You're not going to find out, so.
I'll give you $10.
You'll double my salary? No. No, I'm not going to tell you that.
All right, okay.
You guys all gave me shit when I sort of talked about my personal life before, and people were like, wow, I never heard a divorce live on the air before, so I'm not going to give that away.
Okay. $11.
All right, that's it. We call it No, not doing it.
Is it something lame and dumb, or is it something super personal, or is it like
both? I think it's
lame,
both.
dumb, and really personal.
Yeah, it's not like common every day. It's not like Snookums, or it's not something you like even normally joke about. I don't know. I mean, that's what I think of if you think about like annoying, like little lovey-dovey affectations. That I think of like.
It's not common every day,
No, I don't know. I don't know anybody else who calls their significant other what we call each other.
You just added intrigue. $12.
I know. No.
Okay, so
we'll do it live on pay-per-view. I'm not going to give it away.
We'll do it in Cageside Mania.
There you go.
Gino versus Sean for control of the pet name. And you'll wrestle, but I'll find a proxy.
Get a proxy.
He'll choke me. When he shows up to talk about it.
You will hire a personal instrument of destruction who will have no problem with being used as such.
Yes. He'll say, Sean's blood is on your hands. When his wife gets mad at him, it's your fault.
And then I'll disown her.
And then
she'll just be a son of a bitch. That was the weirdest delivery.
He was so like down and in the dumps when he was doing that.
That was weird.
And then he won't be a son. He'll just be a son of a bitch.
You think he was worried about getting in trouble with Linda for saying that line, or
I don't know. I don't even
did he
care.
finally experience what most of his performers have experienced, where he was like, I can't believe I have to say this shit that I wrote for myself? Or I don't know.
Why did I approve this script?
Who wrote this? Oh,
I should have changed it. Yeah. Who wrote this? Wait, I approved it. Yeah.
That happened.
That was really bad. I don't know what I was expecting from the Undertaker segment, but I think I was expecting like some sort of answer, and they gave me one in the sense of like he showed up.
He's back to being a force of nature. He took his lightning back from Bray Wyatt, who is now left just fucking rambling incoherently in a closet somewhere.
Big breakthrough for them last night.
Yeah, really good stuff. So yeah, and then Taker. He's just a force of nature. He's got his lightning back, and he's just gonna fuck up people, whoever you put in his path, I guess.
Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? Because he's gonna do Vince's bidding, but I guess they wanted to establish.
He's out of control. He's like Brock. He's above that, I guess.
Because it's like is he like a good guy who's like being forced into this, and he's gonna go along with it, but he wants to make clear that he's not like super happy about it? Because what does it say when you're, you know what I mean? Like because that's the whole point of it was for him to come out and go, look, you know what's going to happen. You understand what this means. Like you put Hell in a Cell, and I'm going to go in there with him, and I'm going to murder him, and I'm going to eat his soul, and then I'm going to fucking hit him with a lightning bolt, maybe.
Which would
Like,
mean a lot more if Taker hadn't just lost his last Hell in a Cell match like 3 months ago.
It would also mean more if he didn't have gimmick hair. Weird ass fucking like can't take the hat off because the entire illusion will be destroyed.
Yeah.
They advertised him with luscious locks of love.
Well, they show everybody's pictures are from 1986. The Ric Flair picture is hilarious that they keep using. He looks like he's fucking main eventing a Saturday afternoon show on TBS.
Looks younger than he did for the first Clash of the Champions.
Yep.
Here's someone asked, I said, why do they keep using these old pictures of Undertaker? And I said, well, because he's insecure. And he burned all the fucking new graphics that they tried to make, and they tried to get him to sit still for a picture, and he wouldn't do it. Anyway, they
should have offered him some meatloaf. Then he would have sat there.
Well, that's why he came back.
Right. See, that's all they had to do is tell us. So just to get to sort of try to stay on topic, just be a little different for you and I. We'll try to stay on topic. They are going to, if you want to, and I think they're trying to like avoid traditional heel face roles here a little bit. But at least as far as Taker goes. But if you want to put them in those boxes, they are running The Undertaker as a heel in Dallas at WrestleMania.
Really?
I mean, right? I mean, yeah, because Shane is definitely the babyface, right? I mean, we're not rooting for the authority to keep control of Raw. Unless you listen to some of Stephanie and Triple H's promos, and then you are, because...
Well, they have to understand
Taker's not going to get booed there, but I'm just saying, if you have to put him in the boxes, that's what they're doing.
See, I didn't really get that. I felt more like he'll do it, but...
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I'm saying I think they're doing this like he's above it all. He doesn't care who controls Raw. He has a task that they put in front of him, and so he's going to complete it, and that means Shane's going to die. Right? He doesn't feel one way or the other about it. It's just what he's going to do. Right?
Yeah, it's just I think that's why it was bad, and it felt weird and not what I wanted out of this. And in fairness, again, you have to give them some benefit of the doubt just for the fact that there's still a month until WrestleMania. We just got to March, and the show's not even till April. So there's plenty of time for them to explain some things, and Undertaker will be back next week maybe, or he'll be back in Pittsburgh. I don't know.
I think he's back next week. I think isn't next week when everybody's on?
I think Pittsburgh's when everybody's
on. Oh, it's 2 weeks.
Raw Chicago next
week. You're right. It's the 15th. Yeah.
Reigns and all them are going to come back. But so they have time to come up with a better explanation, and benefit of the doubt, fine, whatever, all that good stuff. I just felt very, I need everyone's motivations to be clear to me. And I think you should get that out of the way as early as possible. And they haven't done that. We know why Shane's doing what he's doing. We know why Vince is doing what he's doing, and why Stephanie's doing what she's doing. And we're pretty clear on the program all the way around. But the one thing we still don't know is why is Undertaker just going along with it? And going along with it would mean then, the fact that he's going along with it at all, right, if you look into it any deeper, means he is fighting for the authority. And the idea that he would just come out and go, you understand that, I'm going to murder that fuck, and it's going to be your fault. Is he trying to make Vince conflicted?
No.
And then I guess that's when Vince did
I guess maybe you're right. I mean, that would explain Vince's delivery of that promo.
He understood finally. Undertaker came out and just was, okay, I'll do what you're asking me to do because you're the boss. You're my boss. And that's what I said from the beginning. People were like, why is he doing it? I said, well, fucking Occam's razor, this son of a bitch. It's the simplest explanation. It's just he's his boss. And when your boss tells you to do something, you do it. Sometimes you don't like it and you bitch about it, whatever, but you do it. So he goes, all right, that's what I'm doing. You're the man. And yeah, I guess the idea was, hey, I am an instrument of destruction. I am the fucking phenom, the dead man, all these things. So, and it is a Hell in a Cell match, which is where I've, fucked everybody up. That's not true. He's awful, actually, in Hell in a Cell matches.
Yep.
Shane would have been better off if it was a Rumble, because there's no bigger dumbass in a Rumble than Undertaker.
Mm-hmm. So, and we have the data to back it up.
Thank you, Canaanite. Yeah, so that improves that promo in hindsight. where he was like sad, saying that he'll just be a son of a bitch, like he was realizing the gravity. You guys probably didn't see it, but Sean just with the greatest eye roll, like, no, it doesn't. The show sucks.
I mean, it explains the way that he did it. I just don't buy it. Me personally, I don't buy that story. I mean, it's just not interesting to me. Here's what I'm wondering is, because I go back to the breaking of the streak 2 years ago, right? And the story leading up to that, in my humble opinion, was a steaming pile of horse shit. There was nothing. And then after it happened, a lot of people, including in a wonderful post on our site by Big Pale, who
got him a job,
turned it into a big money check. This one post explaining here's what they were telling us all along. I feel like they do that, especially with Taker and especially with Mania. They are very okay with just throwing really random, like, broad strokes out there, and half the crowd doesn't care just because they want to see Taker versus Shane and whatever, maniacal shit show that turns out to be. And the other half of us who do care about this stuff will end up connecting the dots enough for ourselves with a story that we will probably find more interesting than what they would have told us anyway. So that's just what they do. Like, you're saying they have 4 weeks to give us an explanation, and I agree. We can't judge it all on this, but if I was a betting man, I would not bet on us getting an explanation. I bet this is what we got. And we're going to get reminders of this, and they're slowly going to have face-offs, and then they're going to come to blows on the go-home show, and then that's it. We're never going to get anything deeper than this, is my guess.
Well, all right. The show is not, yeah.
I mean, in general, this show, to me, it was like they pulled out all the stops last week and they made us all go, holy shit, it's Mania season. And then this week was, all right, let's slow down a little bit. We got 4 weeks to go. So
Handsock had a tweet that I thought was great. He said, Raw punted this week. You're right, dude. They went 3 and out. And
they went into like a ball control offense or a prevent defense. Yeah.
And they shanked the punt.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was kind of. See, I disagree. I don't think they shanked the punt. I think it was a good punt.
That's That's true.
I enjoyed the show. It just nothing happened on it.
It was just, it felt long, and like by the end of it, I felt like, excuse me, it was like I started watching a movie and then it was kind of good, but then it trailed off, and I would normally be like, okay, I'm going to check out, but I had made it long enough into the movie that I felt like I needed to get to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've watched a lot of movies where I just wanted to get to the end for some reason. I wanted to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this felt like. There's a lot of stuff that I don't care. It's kind of stunning how few people there are on the roster that I actually care about.
Yeah,
and they're not doing a good job of making me care even about the biggest people. You brought up Bray Wyatt. Did he become self-aware? Did he
It might be. I think he was breaking the fourth wall in that promo. Yeah, I don't know.
His promo was, for anyone who missed it, he said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's not the definition, by the way. It's just a popular, stupid-ass
thing. It's a misused quote, yeah.
Yes, it's a hugely misused quote. But that's what he said. And I'm like, immediately, I feel like the Wyatt family had a barbecue. And we're sitting around and we're like, guys, I think we have to do more than just kidnap them. I think there's like a next step. And we need to figure out what that next step is. You know what? Luke, that makes a lot of sense. Let's figure this out. But they can't figure it out. They just don't know what to do. Like, that's their... I tweeted that last night. Got a lot of engagement out of it.
Hashtag.
The Wyatt family in WWE is kidnap a guy. Guy escapes unharmed. Guy returns to beat up Wyatt family. Kidnap another guy.
Repeat, yep.
It's like... And that's what I felt like last night was partially, I saw them and I was like, oh, they're giddy because they're at the point in the cycle where they get to kidnap a new guy. So they're like super excited about it. And they never remember the next 2 steps that occur in the cycle where the dude just, yeah.
Well, maybe kidnapping a guy is so much fun they don't even care. Like, well, we know it's going to go to shit, but man, I love the kidnapping part.
Oh, this is so great, you guys. We're going to kidnap a guy. This is so great.
Oh,
What are the other big things that happened on the show? I guess Dean and Triple H. Let's talk about that.
I mean, that's where, like, if this had been a 2-hour Raw and that was the overriding story of the show, it would have been a much better show.
Yeah.
I mean, because I have some serious concerns about that program, but again, as with the Ambrose Lesnar program, I think they're telling. I mean, this is their story, and I, when they go with their story and they sort of don't fuck it up, even if I don't like the business implications, I'll give them props for that, and the story makes sense.
It does. Fans want this. Well, we can't give it to them at WrestleMania. No, but we do have a network special on March 12th. We fucking do, don't we? Oh, and Reigns is out injured with a nose. He had
nose job.
He had to have a nose job.
Emergency nose job.
He had to get a nose job. He did, didn't he? Yeah. Remember, well, Brock can't do appearances every week. He can't, can he? And so it's and we're like, this is actually a dude people will like, and Triple H will get booed. He will, won't he? So they put it together. It's really smart. I saw a lot of people saying, and I was even saying it too initially because I didn't know what they were doing at the top of the show. They were just verbally sparring, and Ambrose was, Triple H felt like he was at his shoot and kayfabe best, where he's like legitimately trying to fucking bury the guy across from him. And it didn't matter. Like, Ambrose was going toe-to-toe with him. Like, it was, he felt like he deserved to be there. It felt like a big confrontation to me. Like, it felt like a show leading into a much bigger show where a match would occur that we would all really care about. I don't know if you felt the same way, but I kind of felt that sort of electricity that is totally not there when Roman Reigns is out there. And I don't want to turn this into, some sort of, because I'm sure there are plenty of Reigns fans who listen to this, and I'm not knocking your boy. Your boy's fine. He is what he is. But he's not Dean Ambrose. And they ran the exact same angle in 2 consecutive weeks. And I think it does say a lot. And even the Reigns fans need to just admit to this, essentially, that when Triple H is beating you up and you're bleeding, and the fans are calling for more blood, that is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. And then when he's beating Dean Ambrose up, people are actually booing him. It really should let WWE know how we actually feel. Because Triple H didn't need to do anything more, right? People said, well, it was a fair fight when it was with Reigns. He didn't necessarily cheat. He didn't necessarily use weaponry, which isn't even true. He used a bell.
Yep.
Also, people were right in the sense that there is a broader context. I mean, Reigns had been in a triple threat against Brock fucking Lesnar the night before. A bunch of chair shots. And he just worked a match against one of the stiffest, most fucking brutal, has hurt many people wrestler, Sheamus. And then Triple H came up in on him out of nowhere. So that part's not even necessarily true, but just the point is that if that man is beating up someone we actually like, we'll boo him. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yeah, I agree with you about the opening promo. I thought. See, here's my thing with Dean and Roman as the brothers, right? Sorry, did I make you sleepy?
No, I woke. It's old school, dude. I had a really rough night, and I woke up right before we went on the air.
All right. So I feel like you're right. So they ran the same segment that they would run, and this is where their strengths and weaknesses are very apparent. I would much rather watch Dean do a segment like the Open, where he talks. He can think on his feet. He's got a natural charisma that Reigns doesn't have. And I'm not, again, like you said, I'm not doing this to bury the guy. He has not proven himself to be very nimble beyond delivering a couple of well-timed badass lines. And Dean did that. He's hung with them. Like you said, Triple H went for the line, which is like Triple H's cool heel burial moment where he's like, what you're smelling is soap and laundry detergent, and Dean just rolled right with it and fired back. It was fine. What I would rather see, I mean, the crowd reaction notwithstanding, I'd rather see Roman do the match at the end because I'm not a Dean Ambrose fan of his ring work. I don't like the comeback clothesline, and I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. I think he overacts the same way I think Ziggler does, and this is all just subjective, my opinion stuff. But I would rather see Roman work in the ring almost any day, but I would rather see Dean with a mic is the big point.
Oh, for sure.
But totally, you're right. I mean, that there's no denying that, at least for the crowd, the people that buy tickets to see Raw, especially the ones that want to sit close, they're never going to cheer Reigns the way they will Ambrose. And that was true. I think if Roman had been there in Nashville, which isn't a smart town, I think it would have been not pretty again. I think Triple H would have gotten cheered.
They cheered Triple H initially.
Yeah. Well, and that's partially his fault, too, or his design, maybe. But
yeah. Last week, and he's too smart to not understand that he's not doing things that are going to make people hate him.
Yeah.
And the only defense he could say even is because you could say the same thing last night, that he didn't really do a whole lot of things that would make people hate him. The only thing he did was that he was doing it to someone who we love, therefore we'll hate him.
Yep.
So I guess that's something he could lean on. Like you said, the lines that he was talking about, that smell is, soap or whatever.
Yeah.
That's one of those typical DX Triple H type lines that makes him cool. And it didn't matter.
Nope.
It makes you kind of long to have that baby face to cheer for. And here's the thing. You get to.
Yep.
People are like, they're just making me want this Ambrose program. I'm like, are they really? Because they're doing it right now, guy.
But, I mean,
you're literally getting that.
It's a valid question, though, because, I don't think they're going to call an audible and have Ambrose win.
Nope, and they shouldn't. No. Here's what it is.
Well, but that's the problem. You run into a point where if you let the guy get the title shot enough times and he keeps losing, we start making smart-ass jokes about how you're the Bengals and I'll never take you seriously, which we do all the time.
No, you know what? I agree, but I've changed my feeling on that. And I think it's a testament to how I think I'm going to put Dean over with that, because the Brock stuff, right? And they used the story to establish it, that he is a dude who will get beaten down, but he will always, always, always get back up. And now the stakes are bigger. And it was Brock doing it, and it was like, fuck, man, it's Brock Lesnar, right? So there's an interesting story within that, to where he, makes a strategy, whatever, and you love him, and you hope that he can win, but you're almost certain he can't, and then he gets mauled, and then all you really care about is, I like the guy, just get up, just please get up, and then he does, and he goes back for another fight. And it's like, man, this fucking guy. And what you're doing within that whole little process is you're building, whether you realize it or not, goodwill with the fans. You're creating something within them that makes them like you just because they see you get up and try again. That's something we can all relate to. Is none of us we're not successful every time we try something. We fail a lot, but we have to get up and do it again. And he's the embodiment of that. And now he gets a shot at Triple H like he always should have. He's going to lose. He's going to get his ass kicked again. He got his ass kicked last night, and then he did the thing where the mic was right there, and he's like, hey, Hunter, thanks. And perfect Dean Ambrose line, got some good laughs, but he's also sitting there dead. He's defiant. He doesn't care, and he'll take the beating. And you're going to cheer for him, because he's going to do a stretcher job and not jump off the stretcher and insist on walking to the back and then come out 30 minutes later. He's not going to do – he's going to be the sympathetic underdog that we want him to be, and it's going to work when he does jobs because he's always going to get back up. Here's what I'm thinking. Triple H beats him down. Just really beats him down. They should do like a no DQ thing and use a sledgehammer and just beat the fuck out of him. Into the living death, as Ken Shamrock would say. And then he's still got a Lesnar match. It's an interesting thing that they're doing here because they do still have to promote the Lesnar match, and they're gonna beat the guy. I hope they don't get scared and do some sort of fucking smaz, or they're trying to protect everybody, right? We see that too often. And then he goes in and does the Brock match, and Brock beats the fuck out of him. He can't beat Brock. I think that's a bad idea. It should be Austin WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Where he just bleeds until he's near death, and the referee's like, we're going to need you to stop beating him to death. And that's the finish. But he never stops, and he always gets back up. And then when all that's done, then they do Roman versus Dean.
Okay. I mean, I hope you're right, but I think that there is, even with Dean, I think there's a law of like, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a law. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think at some point, if you see him get these shots and not succeed at them, the message gets sent that this is not the guy. And you can cheer for him all you want, but eventually you get diminishing returns. That's the law I was going for, where you can't just keep running him out. You can't do this with him over and over again unless he wins at some point. And I also think that on March 12th, we're going to get probably there's a strong chance that Brock gets involved and like hits Ambrose with some shit. And then Triple H goes to continue to beat on him after the DQ where he kept his belt. And then Roman comes back to save him. And then I don't know how Toronto's going to react to that. And then you've tried to protect everybody and you fucked everything up.
Well, I think that's making a few too many assumptions.
I openly admit that, but I'm just saying I don't think we're going to get your story. You made a bunch of assumptions and said I think they're just going to go straight forward with this and do this way.
No, I said they should.
Right. Well, that's all I'm saying. Well, okay, I'm predicting it, but I'm not saying they should. It's what I'm afraid they're going to do. I don't see how that's any different from what you just did. You fantasy booked something. I fantasy booked something.
You ain't got to get out about it.
You're the one who told me I was making too many assumptions when we're all talking about fucking speculative bullshit.
I don't know whether to shit or want to watch.
I'm going to hang up on you right now.
Shit or wind my watch. Yeah. No, I think it's smart business that they got to bridge a gap and they got to promote a special and they got to, they want to give. And I think maybe it's a calculated decision too that maybe if we give them the Ambrose feud and we have Triple H beat Ambrose, they'll be even more pissed at Triple H, or they'll actually not like him because we'll beat their guy, and then they'll want to boo him, right? Going into once Reigns does come back, so because that's next week. Chicago is a go-home in some ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Reigns will be back. Here's what's funny. Did they actually announce the title match for Toronto?
Yeah, this morning.
Oh, okay.
And they changed the name of the show.
To what?
Follow the product, man.
I just fucking woke up.
It's now WWE Roadblock.
Seriously?
Yep.
Roadblock.
Yep.
Man. Roadcock.
Triple H versus Dean Ambrose for the title is headlining Roadblock.
And we have to say it like that every time.
Absolutely.
Roadblock.
German.
So yeah, I think it's smart business, and I'm excited because I thought it was a really good. I thought their interactions were really good. I think they were really one of the very few good things on this show. I don't know what the match will look like, but I think it's fair for you to say that you're worried that Dean you might lose too much, and then at some point you're just a fucking loser. But I also think that's why it's important to sort of stack against him, to feel like he is losing. It's not his fault. It's not for lack of effort. It's not, it's
true. I mean, I don't think he's going to be hated. I just think at some point you can only use the Dean is almost going to win the main event bullet so many times. And they've used it a lot. He came in second to Seth Rollins a lot already. I mean, we forget that because Seth isn't around, but he was. I mean, that's how we got to making the Bengals jokes. He lost the big one a lot.
Well, I mean, I look at him more as the Cowboys of last year. right? They're 2-0, and Romo goes down.
Well, you look at that, and I mean, all right. I mean, that's fine.
Well, hang on. They're 2-0, and they're good. Romo goes down, and they lose like 8 straight. But every time you're like, yeah, but. It was a lot of yeah, buts. And with Dean, it's a lot of yeah, buts. But then Romo came back, and they got beat anyway, got their ass kicked, and it was like, oh, they're just a bad team. And then, like you said, that's that moment where you're like, okay, I'm not taking them seriously anymore for the rest of this season. And then they have to rehabilitate in the offseason to get me to take them seriously next year. Well, I don't think we've reached that moment yet where it's like, oh, he's just bad. We're in that point where it's like, yeah, but we're still there. And I think it's on WWE to continue to dangle that idea that, hey, if this just happens, he's going to get there. If this break just occurs, he's going to win the title. Because I feel like it's just been a big, slow build that when he finally does win it, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to feel like a huge deal. It's not going to feel very big when Roman Reigns wins. You know?
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. It's maybe not WrestleMania 30 Daniel Bryan type big, but, it's going to be big. It's going to feel huge.
I tend to agree with you. I think they're going to have to go and rehabilitate him after these 2 losses, though, a little bit. I don't think you can just put him against Roman automatically. Why should we think he can beat Roman? He just got pinned by Roman at Fastlane.
Well,
right?
I mean, the story is he won't give up.
But he still loses. I don't know. I mean, not giving up is admirable. I love you for it. But at some point, you're not supposed to give up. You're a fucking professional wrestler who's supposed to be competing. Nobody gives up.
That's true.
I hope you're right. I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Dean's charisma to sell something like that. I just think at this point, if somebody is being done a disservice in this program, for me, it's Ambrose. Because he is the one. I don't think the goal is not to put him over right now in any way other than you're getting the rub by being allowed to work with these guys. Which is a rub.
No, it ain't.
Well, I think it's better than not.
That's the stupidest myth in all of wrestling.
I think you do. I think you send a message to the audience that these guys are in there with big players, as opposed to having them. If he was feuding with Miz and Ziggler right now, we'd be making Bengals jokes. You wouldn't be saying, "Oh, I think there's going to be a blow the roof off the joint pop when he finally wins." He's in a totally different position because of where he is on the card. You would think Dean would be as popular right now if he was still feuding for the Intercontinental title.
No, but
so he is getting some benefit of being in this program, right?
Yeah, all right. That's fair. Because
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he gets some magical rub or anything. I'm just saying it's better than the ultimate. You would rather be losing in this program than winning the U.S. title. As long as you're not getting just totally like goofed out.
What's the U.S. title?
Exactly. I don't know. It's something a tag team guy carries to the ring with him.
What'd you think of Stephanie's promo?
I loved it. But it also has all the problems of.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, man. Come on. Okay. Someone was in the Raw recap. By the way, how's that going? Are people freaking out?
No, I didn't even go in there.
Are they freaking out?
I haven't gone in there. I was trying to find stuff to put on the site.
I gave Raw a new grade.
I know, but I didn't go in there today. I was scared.
An M.
People don't like when you mess with their grades. It has 4,000 comments, so I'm sure people are pissed.
Awesome. I can't wait to go in there and look. After I looked last night. It's funny. The Raw recap goes live at midnight Central.
Mm-hmm.
12:02. Tweet comes in. M? What's the M mean? And it's like, based on the time that it took you to send this, you didn't read the fucking recap. You just went straight for the grade. Maybe I explained it in the recap. Maybe all those fucking words you skipped over will tell you. They won't. But maybe. And here's the thing. Here's my explanation for it. I'd rather die than explain it to you. I will never explain it. You're just going to have to figure it out. Yeah. My lady friend was like, M from Roscoe? I'll never tell you either.
I thought it was M for mature, but you won't tell me either.
Could be M for CM. Return imminent.
Return imminent.
What else was there? Oh, Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie.
Oh, so Stephanie. Yeah, I mean, she nailed the promo, but it's what Hunter does too. It sounds like a babyface promo until the very end when it doesn't, and then we wonder why they don't get booed.
Nothing about that sounded babyface.
Really?
She was destroying the entire fan base.
That was at the very end.
No.
Before that, she was talking about how
literally
she was like delivering like a fucking feminist promo about how her brother she'd been working so hard and her brother didn't even care to come to Raw for you people, and now all of a sudden you cheer him, and I'm the one who's here working, and you just assume that your sons are going to get to take over because they're male, and that was 10 minutes of the promo.
What? She came out to accept. This was, okay, I'm going to finish this award speech.
Right.
People booed the fuck out of her. She throws the table. She throws a little tantrum. That's what this was a temper tantrum.
So is every wrestling promo, but yeah.
Well, not really, but...
normal people don't do that. You don't walk out into the office every morning and be like, all right, here's 10 minutes of why I'm mad. Well, actually, you do, but you're not normal.
I am not normal. I mean, she was just fucking bagging on everybody, and you know, Shane's not here, and you guys cheer for him. You're all a bunch of dicks, and fuck you guys. And I don't understand how that's. I don't know the feminist thing. Like, she's just. I don't think it was like, oh, because they're boys and my girls are girls. It was just you act like your sons are just going to come right in. Like, I have kids too. Like, fuck you. Like, they're going to get a part of this. It didn't feel like a male versus female thing. It felt like a my kids versus your kids thing, which kind of made me a little uncomfortable. I don't want your children involved in these angles. Baby Hardy is bad enough. Kid's got a fucking Twitter. He didn't even know how to read.
Maxwell's over as fuck, you know it.
No, he's not. It's like, you shouldn't have me wanting Gene Snitsky to show up on your program. You're trying to get a baby over. It's just so stupid and bad.
Snitsky would never, because Tyrus is in charge of holding that baby. Snitsky would never get anywhere near that baby.
You take this very seriously.
It's still real to me, damn it. That's the iconic champion you're talking about there.
You know, the iconic Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
What a stupid show.
All right.
I just don't care about any of this week, man. That's what sucks about it. Is it's like I can't even passionately defend what I felt like was promo of the year. I mean, just all sorts of fire. Her delivery,
delivery A+, content B-.
She is the exact
content
opposite
M
of Brie Bell.
I'm giving the content an M, but I will give the delivery a slumpa.
Astiero. Miedo.
Zero miedo.
Yeah.
Somebody was trying, Lady J was trying to give me instructions on how to better do the hand gestures, but it actually got worse, so I'm not even going to try it.
You know what? I figured out what it is. It's you're too stiff. You do that hand flip.
I can't do it. The way that I went back and looked at the way, sometimes he switches fingers, and I can't even make my hand move like that.
Yeah, you do like the O, and then you do like an arch to get to the...
Well, he also sometimes, I just said I wasn't going to do it, but sometimes he switches from the okay to this, and I cannot, there's no way I can do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah. Lady J's like, hey, I want to help you do the gimmick. Let's figure this out. It's like, oh, all right, cool. Let me take time out of work to figure out how to do some.
Well, you said it was important, and we both do whatever you say is important for us to do. I mean,
nothing's important.
No,
in life. That's what we all need to learn, folks. None of this shit matters.
Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff.
You are a insignificant pebble floating through space endlessly. Enjoy Arby's. The Nihilist Arby's Twitter account is the greatest thing on earth. I will always put it over at any opportunity. Anyway, so Stephanie was great.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of dudes commenting about how great her hair looked.
She looked fabulous. It was not. Nice. It had some body to it. I liked it,
including you. Yeah, and then a lot of dudes who were like, "Oh my god, who's the hot chick in the slapnut shirt?" I was like, you guys are getting a little creepy with how overboard you're going with. I have to find her. What is her name? And then it's funny because someone tweeted us and we're like, dude, that's my neighbor.
Like, I just want to know who goes to a show in a slapnut shirt
in 2016.
Yeah, that's what. To be alive. I didn't even notice that she was female or attractive. I just wanted to know what was up with the shirt.
They cut to the crowd and like, is that woman wearing a slapnut shirt?
The Nashville crowd was weird because you had the slapnut shirt and you also had the guy with the My Nana Road Space Mountain sign who got on TV like 16 times. Like, they confiscate signs all the time, but you can't take the one that talks about Ric Flair having sex with this dude's grandmother.
I think they're wanting more signs. It feels like there's been a lot more signs lately, and they're not taking them, which I actually endorse.
Maybe that's the edgy product that they were talking about.
They're being edgy, man. They're trying to be edgy
with slapnut shirts.
Slapnut shirts on good-looking women and a dude whose grandma fucked Ric Flair.
I will say that is edgy.
That's edgy.
I will give him credit for that.
Edgy, disturbing, like
nightmare-inducing. Yeah,
like I could not sleep last night because I kept thinking of that poor Nana and what Ric Flair was probably doing. And why would you advertise this?
That's what I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's not
like. Did Grandma gather around, kiddo?
Maybe this guy thinks he's actually Ric Flair's grandson, and he's trying to get a paternity suit started.
So he can sue the guy, but what he doesn't know is Ric Flair is only worth about $6 and a shot of vodka. So
and he would have to borrow the money to pay for the shot of vodka. So.
After he figures out how to get rid of that arrest warrant out there in Raleigh.
Apparently he got rid of it. That's why he's so broke. Because
that's what I mean.
He paid somebody lent him $33,000 to get rid of that. So
$6 is the loose change in his pocket.
Probably that's why Charlotte has to work so hard to keep that even his title. She's got to pay Dad legal fees.
I'm telling you, she's been great, man. Her shitheading's good. Do you want to talk about the feud to tear Cageside seats apart?
No, not really, but okay.
We're going to talk about it, baby.
All right.
First of all, before we go on, I'd like to up the offer to $14.
No.
Just fucking tell me.
No.
Here's what's maddening, folks, is we do the pre-show and the post-show here at Cageside.
That's right. Exclusive subscribers to the CSL network.
Yeah, the pre-show consists of me singing, Sean begging me not to.
Mm-hmm.
The post show consists of me telling Sean to do stuff so I can go get lunch.
Yep, that's you got it.
We're gonna open the Slack chat. That will cost a fee. That fee will go towards
paying to find out what my pet.
That fee will go towards paying Sean $15. He won't. Here's what's maddening. He won't tell me even off the air. And that's never the case. Sean tells me everything. I know his deepest, darkest secrets.
Sean, a lot of them, yeah.
Why won't you tell me?
Because I don't want to.
Sean, you're not.
Because we have to have some secrets to keep our relationship fresh.
About to break up with you is what it is.
Oh, well, you're the one with the lady friend these days that I didn't even get to meet first, so.
Well, what? You're upset because I have a new lady friend.
Mm-hmm.
Girly friend.
Mm-hmm. I am.
You're married.
I know, but that happened when I was already married when we started our relationship. So this is new. You knew that going in.
She's a cook, dude.
Nice.
She'll woo you with Italian meatballs.
Nice. Not meatloaf. Does she make better meatloaf than Michelle?
We're going to find out.
All right.
I will break up with her over this. I will do it.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, is there anything else? Is there anything else on the show we need?
You wanted to was Charlotte was great.
Oh, that's right.
And, yeah, all right. That's you were gonna. So you want? I will admit on public. I won't tell you what I call my wife, but I will tell you that I was not impressed with Sasha's delivery of the finish, and I was thinking about that after the show, and I'm a little. That's something that I'm sort of disappointed in the boss about in general since her main roster call-up.
So sad.
I am. It breaks my heart to even think this, let alone say it out loud. But the thing that I loved about her so much in NXT is that she did all the little shit right. And part of it is that she doesn't get the same opportunities to cut promos and things on the main roster. But she also doesn't do that. Like NXT Sasha would have like given us a very clear reason for why she just fucking corpsed at the end. And main roster Sasha just decided that she was going to lay down, and that bothers me.
Before I go on, $17.
Maybe you're getting warmer.
Okay, so explain to the people if you could, because a lot of people, me included, we missed completely, and commentary is fucking less than useless.
Right.
It's their job. If they had done their job, we wouldn't need to go over this. Explain to the people at least the idea behind what that finish was.
So
First, explain the finish, and then explain the idea.
So they're battling on the top rope in the corner, and Sasha does one of her sunset flip deals from underneath. So Becky's up high, and she gets her legs on her shoulders.
Slams her down. Yeah.
Right, slams her down so that her legs are pinning Becky's shoulders to the mat, and Sasha with her head to the ring post. Even though Becky didn't have really any body part on her body, just laid there flat-backed so that it was a double pin and therefore a draw.
Why did she just lay backwards?
My kayfabe explanation is that they had done a lot in the match up to that. Right before that spot was Becky headbutting Sasha a lot, and prior to that she had been hitting her with a lot of elbows in the head. So my kayfabe explanation to people in defense of my queen was that she was goofy from being hit in the head so much so that she was wiped out. The alternative explanation that you and our boy Dave Walsh on Twitter and a few other people threw at me was that apparently Becky had been to Chipotle earlier in the day and laid some really noxious Irish farts out that rendered Sasha completely unconscious.
The impact.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the impact of the farts, not the smell of them.
No, the impact on the mat.
Oh,
blew those farts right out of her ass.
I gotcha. You're right.
Blown backwards, both by how explosive the wind was, and the fact that it smelled the way it did is what kept her on the mat.
We are grown men, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's as good an explanation as any because these motherfuckers don't bother to explain it to us. No. And I would have bought that. It probably would have been a fulfilling thing to know the headbutts. If Cole's on commentary and he's like, was that a fart?
Did you guys hear that?
Tell me you heard. That was explosive. Explosive fart from Becky.
Vintage gas. Oh dear. Yeah, so it was a decent match. It got to where they needed to, which is the triple threat at Mania. Hopefully, I guess I don't know that. I guess they're just going to completely parrot NXT into another false finish on Thursday, and then give us the triple threat.
No, it would be great if they do another false finish on SmackDown, and then they're like, okay, seriously this time, Raw next week. One of you is going to win. I love that Charlotte was like, she just stood up and was shaking her head and had her arm out like, are you fucking serious with this shit? Like, are these two serious? That's what I told Sean. Sasha clearly doesn't deserve to go to Mania. She basically pinned herself. I mean, at least Becky
is stingdom.
At least Becky had gas.
True. And had Sasha's legs on her shoulders, so you could say, and had just been slammed to the mat. I agree. I can't.
It was really bad.
Yeah. It was poorly executed. It was a weird idea that they screwed up even more by not really selling it. Commentary.
It was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. I mean, you can make that stuff work, but also part of it, NXT is like it's a main event. It's like a big deal. There's a good match that happens before it, and this was like an opener after a really hot opening segment with the big stars. And then, it was like, well, I was advocating you give them the main event, but they knew what the finish was. You can't make that the main event. Right. It's a setup for something later. So it's like, okay, well, in hindsight, that totally makes sense. But yeah, they just did a poor job of executing the finish. The match itself was too short to be worthwhile, which is kind of upsetting too, because if you're going to promote them like there's something worthwhile, then you need to also then treat them like there's something worthwhile. Because I'll do without Bubba Ray versus Jey Uso, and also Ryback versus Adam Rose, and also The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler, if all of those minutes could accumulate and you could give them to Sasha and Becky. Even if this is the finish, because I think you need to build to that's how you get the finish over, is you create the want for some result, and they just didn't even do that. You can't do that in 4 minutes.
And if they go 20 or 25 minutes or something too, it also explains why someone would be so exhausted that they just died on the mat. Yeah.
That's why the Chipotle fart theory is what makes more sense than headbutts in the corner. It's just, so it needed more than they were willing to give it. You don't main event with that, I understand that, but couldn't be. Well,
maybe they do. Maybe they do give it 20 minutes on Thursday, tomorrow or tonight. I don't know.
Put it in the fucking main event. I'll tell you this right now. I'd rather watch a Sasha Becky main event with a smash finish than I would Dean Ambrose versus Alberto Del Motherfucking Rio.
But that was setting up the beatdown. That was a Triple H main event.
Even with that, you could do that at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. It probably got better ratings at 8:25 than it would have at 9:40 at 10:45 though.
When I was advocating for the main event, people, why do you want it in the hour that doesn't do any ratings? I said, well, prestige. That's what I'm greedy for. I'm greedy for this, for what the spot represents. We're the main event.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping we were going to get what I think would be the first female pointing at the Mania sign moment, and maybe we still will on Thursday.
That's happened, I'm sure.
I don't think so. Has it? Not. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's not like the Divas title doesn't get defended at Mania with any regularity. Wasn't it a tag match last year?
Yeah, they did a tag match last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes they don't.
They got the champ.
Probably, yes, they did. Yeah, wasn't AJ? Was AJ still there last year?
Yeah, it was AJ and Paige against the Bellas, and they jobbed the champ. And I believe it was Nikki who did the submitting to AJ. If I'm not mistaken, AJ came out the next night on Raw, was sexually harassed by the idiot crowd, and then retired the next week, I think. Something like that. It was amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. She was, what? I just said she was sexually harassed and then said amazing moments.
Yeah. Well, it was amazing. It wasn't, amazing doesn't have to be a good way. I mean,
that's true. That is true. It was amazing that those people are that stupid.
And I don't know about if you want to get rid of, Shoot Ryback beating up the Radical Mongoose, or Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, which apparently is the start of another Intercontinental Championship ladder match at Mania, according to Dave Meltzer.
What?
Yep. That's why.
I'd rather Big Show and KO.
Yeah, well, they'll be in that ladder match, so look forward to that.
Big Show's going to be in a ladder match?
I don't know. I mean, he did.
Yeah, dude.
The Observer didn't say ladder match; they said multi-man match. So,
dude, if you do a ladder match and Big Show's in it, oh man, it is lit, dude.
Well, then he can bring the big ladder. He's got the bigger ladder.
The Big Show ladder. Yep. Oh fuck yeah, dude! And then you could have him be the anchor, and someone goes way up and does the big spot, falling over the ropes.
There you go.
Oh, this could be fucking glorious. This was weird to me. If you don't like Kevin Owens versus Big Show, you can get out of my face.
Bye.
It's fun, dude. Like, Owens is fun.
I
Owens
agree.
makes shit like that really fun.
I'll watch Owens do anything. I just had, I don't know.
I think that the more time goes on, and I've said this before, but that he's making a feud or even a mini program with Big Show interesting. My God, dude. He's like shooting up to maybe one of the best ever in my mind.
It helps that it involves a lot of like dick shots and nut jobs. I like,
Oh, is that where the title of this came from? Sean last night told me he was going to give this one title, and I woke up and that was what the talk at the beginning of the show was when he just went on the air and I didn't even notice.
I went rogue with the title.
Yeah, why did he nut shots and burrito farts?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't that sort of sum up the show for you, though? Raw?
It kind of does. Also, Sean is very sensitive about his titles. If you suggest one, he will yell at you.
You're not the boss of me.
I told someone on Twitter was like,
you are, but I'm saying that to everybody out there in the great wide world.
Someone on Twitter suggested a show title, and I told it to Sean, and he immediately just all capsed it. They don't fucking control what I say. They don't. I do the titles, okay?
Well,
tell him to shut his fucking mouth.
I was also mad because people are out there putting AJ Styles, fucking photoshopping AJ Styles' hair onto my head, which I don't appreciate.
You guys, Sean is creeped out by all of you.
I don't want none. They don't want
Sean
none.
thinks you're all creepy as hell.
That's not true.
There
are 7 or 8 people out there that I don't think are creepy.
Okay, so as a fan base, and Sean has a fan base now, that makes him very uncomfortable.
It does make me uncomfortable. It's not that it's a me issue. It's not a you issue.
It's not a me issue.
No, I'm saying I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people.
Oh, okay. I'm that self-involved. Sorry. Sean.
It is confusing.
Sean does not like. He wants you as his fan to be present, accounted for, but to shut up. You can never question him, and you can certainly never do photoshops involving his face.
That is true. The last one is true. The middle one is not true.
Dude, our last show.
I am often wrong, but
our last show
no photoshops.
Our last show did a bunch of views, and I was like, wow, that's cool and awesome. And there were more comments, and the top comment last time I looked was, hey, great show, Gino and John.
Yep. Well, people routinely think I always see stuff that I said that everybody's like, Gino said on Cageside Live. It's just everything that can sit on here is you.
I don't know how that works.
Which is fine. You're the name on the marquee. I'm the guy that works with the guy.
Well, you're the one who always does. Gino wants to talk about this, and it's like, stop using that. I don't like that. I don't like.
Well, that was back from the days when there used to be another co-host occasionally, and I only do that for the pay-per-views.
We don't talk about that co-host.
I know. Sorry.
Fuck that idiot.
We know who won that feud.
So real quick.
Anything else on Raw?
$22.
No.
What else happened on Raw? So KO's amazing and he's wonderful.
KO's amazing.
They really do an Intercontinental title. I wouldn't mind that, I guess, so much. I think maybe the ladder match would that be in poor taste? Considering Brian won last year on a ladder match and what happened with Brian and big bumps and things like that. I don't think people care much.
No, I don't think.
As soon as he left, I think they just stopped thinking concussion and head trauma related issues. There's no
pretty much. Well, they did the spot. I mean, they still let Del Rio do that fucking double stomp where he drove Ambrose's head into the double stomp. The one on the one off the barricade last night pretty much only served to drive Ambrose's head into the concrete, so they don't seem too afraid about.
Someone asked if we could bring the Dumbest Ass Award back for finishers and just personally hand deliver it to Del Rio and tell him how stupid the Dougal Stomp actually is.
The Dougal Stomp.
We're calling it the Dougal Stomp, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, nothing else from Raw that really... I mean, Ryback beat the shit out of Adam Rose.
Yeah. Radical Mongoose.
He's got microwave heat for actually shooting on him.
Mm.
Microwave heat, we're going to get that over. Me and Greenie.
That's Greenie's favorite thing, yeah.
Greenie and I told him we're going to get that over. So, MLW.
Do you think?
Nope.
Nope, me neither.
What do I think what?
I don't know. Nothing.
Say it.
Why have we devoted so much time to R-Truth and Goldust? Why? Is it a rib? It's a rib, isn't it?
Okay.
Stardust can't get on TV, but we're going to give his older brother 17 weeks worth of vignettes building up to a tag team that I guess will never happen.
Well, Stardust is horribly uninteresting.
He doesn't. You don't. I don't know if that's...
I just love that all of that was delivered while you were staring intently.
I was trying to think. I was looking in my water glass thinking, what can I say to this? Nothing.
Your big ass gimmick cup over there. Put that thing up again. Let's see what that is.
It's big ass gimmick cup. My water cup.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
How about that? I don't know. Is there anything else in the world of wrestling you want to talk about?
Brie and Lana.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, that's something. That is a thing that is occurring. What are they doing? My man is a bear. Your man is a little goat face. Yeah, well, he should shave his back. And that was it.
And like, they decided to put a couple of segments of that on TV instead of the Body Slam Challenge. Your beloved Body Slam Challenge.
I was so pissed. I was promised a fucking Body Slam Challenge. I was not delivered a fucking Body Slam Challenge. You lied to me, WWE, and you've lied to me many times in the past, and I accept that. We're in an abusive relationship. However, you must give me something to return to. Don't promise me a Body Slam Challenge and not deliver a Body Slam Challenge. Sean thinks Body Slam Challenges are stupid.
That's
Sean
not
don't
true.
know. That's
true.
what you said. That's verbatim what you said.
No. Let's go back. Let's go to the tape.
Let's not. Let's just believe what I say.
Okay.
No, yeah, I love a Body Slam. It's such a wrestling thing. It's dumb wrestling shit. It's the good dumb wrestling shit. That is a good dumb wrestling thing. A Body Slam Challenge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, if you watch the couple videos they put out, Sheamus just easily picks him up. Could have slammed him right down. That's what's great about it. It's like you do a Body Slam Challenge with Yokozuna, and like it's a thing because he weighs like 1 billion pounds. But Rusev's not that big. He's short, stocky, and he's thick, but you know,
low center of gravity.
Yeah. Intestinal fortitude.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think I said that to someone who was like trying to be a fan or trying to like how do I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking football or something like that. I'm like, here's some rules. Talk about footwork. You got great footwork. And no one can say anything to that because no one knows what good footwork actually is. So they'll just feel like you know what you're talking about. They won't respond. True. Also, if you see a big dude, all you got to say is, you got a great low center of gravity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you say to that? No, he doesn't. He's got like a medium center of gravity.
His center of gravity is like up here.
It's actually super high. What are you even saying? So, yeah, that's funny. We don't even.
This is the point of the show where we just say stuff that we think might be funny.
Yeah, we're just saying words and going with it.
I have good words. I have the best words.
Snuggle, stomp,
and I don't know.
You were asking about Truth and Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Our Truth, and I tweeted S lie, and no one got it. You didn't get it either.
I wasn't paying attention to you.
Or no, or maybe it's not that no one got it. Maybe it's just that, wow, Gino, it's about the dumbest thing you've ever tweeted.
That's pretty dumb, but it's all right. We love you anyway.
I am bae.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I know that because a YouTube commenter said that.
Oh, nice. Then those people are never creepy and wrong.
That's what the dude did that got Sean all fucking in a huff. He tweets, goes, I'm bored. The show sucks. So here's Sean Photoshop to look like AJ Styles. And he put AJ Styles' bad haircut on him. Dead ringer. Just a dead ring. I was like, Sean, are you actually AJ Styles? Because as I proved in the Slack chat, I'm actually Kane.
True. It's irrefutable evidence.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'd like to also announce I'm running for president.
Really? I'll vote for you.
I know you will. Because, I had a friend over here. I asked who he was voting for, and he said Donald Trump. I couldn't fucking believe it. There are people who might actually vote for that person.
Yep.
Why Trump? Well, I'm not voting for Hillary. That's the barrier for entry. I'll run for president. And I might fuck around and win this thing.
That's right, yeah. I mean, people will probably say, well, I'm not voting for Trump or Hillary. And then there you go. You win.
Let something happen to this country and everybody be like, oh, turn it to CNN. Gino time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Listen here,
we're making this happen now. I'm sold.
And then my first act as president will be to retroactively have Sting beat Triple H at WrestleMania.
There you go. This is a platform we can all believe in.
I'd like to get to the important issues. Like, why... I'm not doing this. this.
No, me neither. What are we talking about? Are we done? I feel like we might be done.
Already done? Are we already done?
What else?
The Gold Dust.
We've tried to bring up Gold Dust and R-Truth 6 times and ended up on tangents every single time. We can't even pretend to care about that.
It's such.
Well, at least everybody got to hear Gino Morosco's wheeze. The most over character on the show.
Oh man, no, it's really like one of those like really bad Hollywood type, message things where it's like if you just keep pursuing, no matter how much someone says no, you'll get your way. Like that's kind of what they're doing.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, right before we go,
wait till that pays off.
Before we go, I have one last thing to say.
Yeah,
$27.
No.